Hi there, my name is Joey Raymond, and I am a Legacy Maker Network contributor, and I had the absolute delight this past week to sit down with one of the best softball pitchers in the nation out of high school. Her name is Abby Herndon. She is an honorable mention on the 16U All-Summer team and ranked in the top 40 of the 2024 Extra Elite 100 and an Ole Miss commit. Also, fun fact, she's my cousin, so getting to catch up with her after a while was pretty great too. So I truly hope that you Legacy Maker listeners have as much fun as I did learning and getting to know Miss Abby Herndon. All right, Abby, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Long time no see. It's been a while since we've had a conversation. So it's gonna work. We're gonna start out with just kind of some like rapid fire questions to get you kind of used to the feel, and then we'll go into talking some softball and then talking some Ole Miss because that's pretty awesome, and we'll go from there. So let's have a little bit of fun to begin this. So I'll just kind of throw some things at you and then just answer back with like the first thing that comes to your mind. All right. So we'll start out with like, what's your favorite color?
Blue.
All right. Food.
Anything with rice.
Okay. All right. And then like favorite hobby off the field.
Sometimes I like to and
all right. Favorite memory growing up.
Probably my first trip to Gatlinburg. It was really cool. We stayed there for about 7 days, and we went to Dollywood, which was the best part of the trip.
I love Dollywood. I've like only like gotten a chance to go there like once or twice, but every time that I've gone, both times that I've gone, had a good time. And then last time we went to Pigeon Forge and went on the island and got Paula Dean's, and I was like never been more full in my life.
Yeah, we love it.
Speaking of food, what's like your favorite thing to eat on the road?
Cracker Barrel.
Cracker Barrel. All right. And then, so I guess that answers the next thing of like, what's your favorite restaurant?
The Cracker Barrel.
All right. So let's get into talking softball because this is something that's been for me like watching through just social media and different things like that because we're on completely separate parts of the state, so I can't really talk or be that involved, but having played baseball, watching all the softball highlights and things has been pretty cool for me. And so like, when did you start getting into softball? Like how did that come about? Like
I was about, I would say 4 or 5 ball, and then I transitioned to 6U rec ball and made the all-star team. And I played all-stars for 2 years. One day we were at our high school hitting cross, and one of my dad's friends, his daughter played on the team, and he was like, "Why don't y'all start a travel team?" So that's what my dad and a couple of other friends did.
Yeah, I mean that's got to be fun playing with all your friends. Like that's got to make life a little bit easier.
Yeah.
And then playing with your dad. Like I know that's been like a huge thing, and like all the stories that I've heard, like you and your dad are really close, and like he's been an integral part of all of that. Like, what's your favorite like training story that you have with your dad?
It's pretty chill between me and my dad. We don't usually yell at each other, but there's definitely been a lot of hits from pitching. But a couple years ago, he got hit really bad. He started gear. So.
All right. Yeah, I've definitely had those moments for sure. So like I know the big two positions that you play are first base and then you pitch. Which one of those two do you prefer?
Pitching.
Pitching? Yeah. So like when was the moment that you kind of realized like, yeah, like I'm pretty good at this like pitching stuff. Like I can, I could probably, make something out of this.
Um, I'd say 8th grade probably was when I started getting some looks and developing relationships with college coaches. That was probably when I wanted to pitch in college. That's when I knew.
Yeah, because all the highlight reels and things that I've seen, like, you definitely have some pop behind the plate too. We were talking about it a little bit in the green room, but like I was, looking up highlights and different things and getting videos together, for this interview, and like there's one video that of you hitting a grand slam. Like how does that feel when like what's a better feeling, like getting like a really big strikeout or getting like a really big home run?
Probably a really big strikeout because I kind of consider myself a PO more now than a year or two ago because I definitely focus more on pitching, but definitely a big strikeout rather than a grand slam. But
I'm sorry?
I do still hit in school ball and travel ball.
Yeah, I've definitely like out of the two, I was definitely more of a hitter than a pitcher. I definitely would throw my fair share of wild pitches because I had no control whatsoever. That's why they put me in the outfield.
Well, I have my share of strikeouts. Like,
All right, so like let's kind of dive into that, like as far as the game style and how you do things. Like let's start with like pregame rituals. Like is there any like pregame rituals you have or anything that you do to like get in the zone?
well, starting at, I always eat protein waffles on game day. But before the game, I say I'd have to make sure I have enough time to do my entire pitching warm up. Because if not, that's discombobulated in the head. But I am pretty superstitious. I wear the same ribbon every game. I have my hair.
Right. Yeah. I remember like when I played, I had a lot of superstitions. Like there was one time I went on like a 3-game hitting streak, and I remember it was disgusting, but I wore the same socks because I thought they brought me good luck. Didn't wash them or anything. It was horrible. All right. So like outside of first base, like if you could not play first base or could not pitch, what would be the position that you would want to play?
Probably in the outfield.
All right. Hey, I respect it. I respect it. And then like when it comes to pitching, like a lot of my pitching friends would talk about their mindset. Is there like a certain mindset that you take into each at bat, or is it different based on the hitters, or how does that work when you're on the mound?
It really doesn't matter who the hitter is. I'm really just taking it one pitch at a time when I'm out there, trying not to rush and just let my body do the work.
All right. So like, so for you, like, would you say like, an 0-2 count versus like a 3-0 count, like mindset, like doesn't really change, or like, is it?
No, I wouldn't say it changes.
All right. And then, so let's kind of move on to like athletic achievements and different things like that. So, I know that you have accomplished a lot so far in your career, and you're going to move on to a major SEC school, which I am definitely envious of for sure. But like, what's so far? Like, what's your favorite like athletic accomplishment that you've had?
Well, last year to the state tournament for the first time in I think 20 years, and I made the all-state team as a sophomore. So that would probably be the biggest one.
That's awesome. And then okay, all right. So like, with the fact that you've played different teams and you've had plenty of different teammates, I'm sure. What's like your favorite story that you have about a coach or a teammate that you'll never forget?
So this a couple years ago at school ball practice, one of my teammates, we were running out to the outfield to go throw, and it's muddy, and she slips and falls and just busts it.
Oh man, that's got to be the worst because like my mindset was like, look good, feel good, play good. Like if I go out and it's like muddy and I slip and fall and I'm already like, uniform is a disaster, then like I don't know. I feel like I would just be way thrown off. All right. So then like with that being said, tell us about like a coach that like has impacted your life the most.
If I had to pin a coach, it'd definitely be my dad. He's been there every step, helping me mentally and physically. And my school ball coaches and travel ball coaches have also been there. Our school ball coach, Catherine Montgomery, I've came up to her several times this season and just talked through some mental stuff that she's helped me a lot with. But probably impact my life the most would definitely be my dad.
All right. So let's move on to the commitment. Let's talk about Ole Miss. Like that's a huge deal. Like I don't know. I don't know about you, but like, going to a school that big to play softball, like that's a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
So like, has it set in yet that you're, about to go accomplish like awesome stuff at Ole Miss?
It has taken a while for it to set in, but I'm kind of ready to get there now.
Got that senioritis going. Like, yeah, no, I get that for sure. So, I know that there was a lot of schools in the mix, and I remember your mom telling me a lot about the places that you visited and the camps that you went to. Tell me a little bit about that process and like visiting all the different schools and like what other schools were in contention.
So it was mainly between Ole Miss and Georgia. Those were my two Power 5 schools. And I went on my visit to Georgia, and I was kind of overwhelmed with how big the campus was. And one thing I noticed when we were out driving on the golf cart, they changed classes at the same time. So it was just a mess when everybody was out walking around. And I just feel like Ole Miss's campus it felt like home to me. But I could have taken other visits, but I knew Ole Miss was the one when I stepped on the campus.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. There's just something about when you find that one school that you just know, like
telling me, you'll know when you.
Yeah, and I've heard that from plenty of athletes and different people, and like even my experience with Virginia Tech. I mean, I wasn't a scholarship athlete, but just when you step on campus at a place, it takes a different mindset when you get there, and you just know that like this is it. So like, what were some of like your favorite aspects about Ole Miss that made you decide that this is where you wanted to go, other than that, like this is home feel?
I'd say coaching staff really. The pitching coach there, Coach Riker, he's really fun to be around. And out of all the camps I went to, I'd say he's my favorite pitching coach to work with. And really just Oxford in general. I really love the city. It's really in.
All right. So have you found like a favorite spot already in Oxford? Or have you been like, I don't know how often you've gone, but
went a hand, probably more than that, but restaurant, Southern Craft and Tap. That
yeah. All right. Like I get that, maybe some NIL opportunities there later. That's the hope, right? All right. So, when you get to Ole Miss, like what's like one of the major things that you're most looking forward to?
I'd say the biggest thing I'm looking forward to is being with a pitching coach every day and just focusing on that one thing.
All right. Yeah. So, definitely like I could see that definitely with like familiarity and getting used to a place. Is there something that like while you're at Ole Miss that you're looking to accomplish, like a goal or just like a personal achievement that you're trying to get?
The first thing mine is be an all-conference pitcher individually, and then team-wise, I'd love to make an appearance at the Women's College World Series.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I know that there's that's definitely a a hard achievement, but definitely like I've looked at Ole Miss's softball team, and they've got some really good players, and I think that you're going to make a great addition to that staff. Just in the research that I did for this interview, like I mean they look like a player or two away from being a major contender. So yeah, hopefully, when you get there, you can make a pretty big splash. That would be awesome.
I hope so.
But yeah, just know that at least from Virginia, you have someone rooting for your success for sure.
I hate it.
But anyways, definitely, I've really enjoyed interviewing you. This has been a lot of fun. Hopefully we get to do some more, and maybe I can get you on some of the other stuff in the network. That would be cool. Maybe get you into like the debate show. That'd be fun. And definitely we'll see more of you for sure. But I do appreciate your time, Abby, and I wish you the best of luck with the rest of your seniors, and definitely at Ole Miss.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Fun.
Yeah, of course.